Hello, this is Randall Root, and this video is an overview of the exercises in Chapter 6. In Chapter 6, your goal is to create a SQL script to perform ETL processing. Later, we use components of the script to create an SSIS, Integration Services Package, to actually do the extracting, transforming, and loading. But in this chapter, Chapter 6, we are developing the script to perform that. So the goal is for you to go through and understand how an ETL script is created. In real life, you would decide whether or not individual tables need to be loaded fully. In other words, you flush them out, clear them out, and then fill them up again with fresh data, or incrementally, in which case you go through and only load new rows or update rows that may have changed, or possibly delete or at least flag for deletion any rows that have been removed. In this chapter, I decided not to do an incremental loading. It turned out that by the time I started writing all that down, it was going to be another 100 pages. So I went ahead and just went with the simplest scenario you can get, and that's just a flush and fill technique. So while it's not going to be appropriate for all occasions, it certainly is simple to do, and it'll give you a pretty good idea of how the ETL processing would work with SQL anyway. If you'd like additional information about incremental loading, I'm providing some on my website, so you can look there to find some additional examples that hopefully will augment your understanding. But anyway, the chapter goes through and talks about the various different aspects of how you would write the code, and it includes only a single exercise. The single exercise is having you go through and create the actual script. Now, before I get there to that exercise, I kind of talk about the different aspects, such as converting data over from one data type to another, or truncating table versus deleting the data from a table, or dropping the foreign key constraints, and other things as well, such as various different functions that you may find useful. The different examples also provide things like simply putting a column alias on table data. So you can see here where I provided the column alias and then the value I want to use, and so on. Column alias, value I want to use after the transformation. So in this chapter, what you're going to do is you're going to learn the techniques for developing SQL code that would perform some of the simple ETL processing. This is a subject that could really span an entire other book. So I couldn't actually go into all the gory details that you might need to know for the rest of your life. But certainly, this should give you a pretty good baseline to get started with. Hopefully, you'll find it enjoyable.